Man, I'm sitting here thinking. I'm at the market, and before I even start this story, let me explain something to you guys. This is IG Live, but we're not going to be on IG Live no more. At least not on this account. I've been going for a while, but I'm back now. So what we're going to do is, after this video is concluded, you guys are going to go look for it on my timeline. Look at the description box, and you're going to see that I want you to go to SDL Saves Me. And that is the IG account that I need you guys on. Because what's going to happen is I'm going to be posting live from there once it hits 1,000 subscribers. It's an old account. It's at 453 right now. And like I said, I haven't used it in a long while. But this account has been compromised in so many ways, and I don't even understand. Is linked to a Facebook account that was deleted. Is can't advertise or anything on it. So this account is going to be pretty much worthless to me. But just keep that in mind. I want you guys to go over to SDL Save Me. That's SDL SAVEME. SDL Save Me. And that's going to be the IG account that I want you guys to go and follow, so we can hit 1,000 subscribers, so we could do daily shows again. Because it's been a long time. So I left you without a strong show to step to. But yeah, man, the way things are in this society today, man, things is crazy, especially when it comes to relationships. I mean, relationships between man and woman has gotten so rotten that it doesn't seem like there's any hope at all these days. But you know what? I'm sitting there, I'm shopping yesterday in the grocery market, ShopRite, and I got my 2 kids with me, and I hear a lady shout, a young lady too. We're talking about like, chick, probably like, not overly big, but kind of on the tall side, tattoos all over. I'm like, whatever. And like I said, young guy, 20 something too. And she just shouts like, "What the F? Don't you F with me? And you better shut the F up. If I tell you what blah, blah, blah is, that's what blah, blah is." And the guy didn't say anything at all. He stayed quiet. And I'm there like, with whatever in my hand. I'm like, hold up. There's no way this guy's going to take that. So, I'm just trying to, observe and everything, being a little nosy. And we're walking out the aisle, going down the same way they're going out the aisle. And she said a few more things to him. I mean, very insulting. And the guy doesn't say a goddamn word. Black chick, black guy, black American. And I'm like, is this what society has done to men? And it's such a shame, because I'm looking at this man like, this man has no pride of being a man whatsoever. And she just talked to him, degraded him, like, you could tell this happens on a daily basis. And the guy, he just took it in stride. Like I said, looks like it happens on a daily basis. So this guy's being emasculated in public view. Many people around being emasculated in public view. And he had no pride in himself to shut that ish down right away. And I'm being honest. I shouldn't say this, but oh man, I probably shouldn't say it at all. But all I'm saying is, everything has done a number on us as a people. And I'm thinking back, because I'm like, all right, how did we get here? Because I know you heard the stories, like back in the 1950s and 60s, the black community was completely together. We had the highest rate of marriage and the lowest rate of divorce. A lot of shame in the community as far as not allowing anybody to have babies out of wedlock, being close to God, God-fearing, hardworking. It was all there. And if you look at today's societies, like it never even existed, but this was just, what, you got 60, 70, 80, 90, 2020, about, about 50 to 60 years ago. So most people alive, there was people 60 years ago, those people, some of those people are still alive today, so it wasn't that long ago. But I started thinking, and I'm like, hold up. If you go back to the 1970s with the Civil Rights era, you know, that's when people really start standing up for the rights of black people and immigrants all across the world or whatever. So you had that Civil Rights era come in, and it started making mad changes because, you know, we just coming out of Jim Crow and all that. After coming out of slavery, you had slavery, you had after slavery you had Reconstruction, then you had Jim Crow. You had Jim Crow, then Reconstruction, or vice versa, whatever. So there was a lot of noise being made. There was a lot of changes being made, and that was the Martin Luther King era, the 1970s. In 1975, it was like, you know, it hit its climax, and there was a lot of sweeping changes made. But it was no coincidence at that same exact time in the mid 1970s, that the CIA then began to flood a lot of black communities with crack cocaine. Then on top of that, moving into the 80s, now crack is destroying families. Now you bring in the welfare program. And with the welfare program, you had the government telling black women, hey, we provide for you. We'll give you money. We'll give you this card, or we'll give you these whatever you want to call it, food stamp papers or whatever. You go purchase whatever type of food you want to fill your refrigerator. We even give you free housing. But in order for us to do that, can't have that black man around. That's just how it was. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. That's just how it was put together. And all these things was done for a reason, but we're going to get there. So after that, you had the feminist movement move from the white communities to the black communities, because that was a thing with white ladies back in big thing back in the 70s, 80s, and all that. The 90s is when this really started popping off with the feminist movement. But it also made its way into the black community and on the black woman's era. And that began to plague a lot of the minds and the character of our people. But so from the mid 70s, we got the crack cocaine and we got the welfare. So let's do this. Let's contaminate their music. Back in the day, from out of New York is where they say rap originally started. We're not going to get into who started what, MC Herc and all those, Red Alert and all that. But in its original state, hip-hop, rap was a beautiful thing. It was a piece of art. It was really, really true art and the music. And it was like never done before. It was something new to the world. So as rap started making its way to the mainstream, people thought it would just be a fad. But then you have Run DMC coming in here. Now Run DMC is doing shows, concerts, and outselling all the rock stars. So you're like, wow, no matter what we do, these people keep finding a way. So what do? Well, here we go with the 90s, NWA, and all the gangster music. All the music promoting crack cocaine to sell to your other. You move from the 90s to the 2000s. Everything's about gang banging, shooting, killing. Now you move from that to now. It just continues to build. More demonic than the past decade. So now, they see what you do. They'll placate their money into certain particular people, individuals. They make them hot and keep them hot because they're manufactured. So they manufacture these artists to get up to where they are and promote them to you to continue to destroy the minds of the people. And they realized by doing this is having a great effect on the community, because you had all types, it was all-time high rates of murder in the black community, never seen before. Throughout the 90s and early 2000s, rap music took its form, flooded the airwaves and so forth. So high incarceration rate. So they like, okay, we did a number on the black man, and we got to the point that we got to like the 2010s. It was like black men are done pretty much, because by that time you got these dudes wearing skinny jeans, switching, wearing purses, painting their nails, braiding their hair long. So it was like, it was pretty much a done deal. So they looking at it like, what else do we need to do? It looked like it's a wrap. They was like, hold up, forgot about the finishing touch. And what was the finishing touch? Let's get back to the female. Why do you think now we're in a time where all their money and resources are being put into the likes of female rappers who have the type of lyrics that you would normally hear from a man? Why do you think that they purposely make these individuals famous in order to do what? Because they know that black people don't got enough sense not to allow their children to listen to it. Because anything with a good beat, you want to rock to it. Unfortunately, it's sad, but it's true. Not only that, they understand that as long as, from what we've already done, we prevented the black man from being with the black woman fell for it, and now she's going to be a single mother, pretty much. So now we made her a single mother, and the fathers, we make sure, we set it up to where they might not be around. It was the 80s with the welfare. That permeated, and when you do something for so long, it becomes part of your culture. You can't do something and operate in a way for so many decades and then not become a part of your culture. So that's just what happened. So now you got single motherhood. And they understood that if we have these single mothers, we could push any agenda we want on the children because the father is not there. Because you have to understand, the father is the only one who really protects the kid from outside influences. Under a single mother, they pretty much learn any habit that's there to be had. And it's unfortunate. I know this because I lived it, and statistic proves it. So now we live in a time that they promote the music to the young black girls now, so they could grow up to be like the Sexy Reds, the people who are just worthless individuals. Straight demon music. So now we're oversaturated with demonic music. And by God, we love it. As a people, we love it. Then we complain when we can't get anything right in life. Our entertainment is now filled with so much pornography, so much profanity, and so much LGBT letter stuff or whatever. And this stuff is being promoted to kids at that. It's crazy, it's crazy, it's crazy. So now we're at a point that we have emasculated the black man so bad that he's so feminized that he can't even stand up for himself. He's in fear of his woman. Then on the other end, we have made the woman so masculine that she feels like she's the man in a relationship and she has no fear of that man, no consequences of anything. And the irony is this: it's the very opposite nature that God has created. Everything that God has created in the way that He has created it to be, we have turned it and allowed the devil to flip us in a way that we live in a total contradiction of all things that are holy, all things that are godly. And I've come to this. I used to believe black people were, and I still do, special people to God. But the problem is, I believe that God has finally let us go. There's only so long, and so you can only be so far gone for so long. If someone says, you know what, this is what it is that you want, so here, I'll let you have it. And I believe that's what the Lord has done to us as a people. He has decided to take His hands off us because we chose not to want Him as Lord and Savior. The way we live contradicts the very things that we say. We're the only people who idolize, pedestalize the woman in a way that we put them in the leadership over us. And if you didn't know, if you check the book of Psalms, what is it, Psalm 63, I believe it is, or 43, that is an actual curse. Anytime you have a society where the women become the leaders of the men, they're in the leadership roles, and everything is always focused and formatted for them, that is God showing you that He washed His hands with you. I'm done. And we got to realize that right now we're on our own, and it's only going to get uglier. And you think all the stuff that's going on in the world with Trump and the wars that are coming and all that, how do you think we're going to fare? Because we ain't together. The one thing about us, we're at such a weak point. We are the weakest community walking the face of the earth. We truly are. We're the most vulnerable community on the face of the earth. Because without family, you don't have community. And without community, you don't have protection. And that's just where it's at. That's just where we are. Now, with this show, as this is my introduction back to 2026 to begin this show again on a nightly basis, we're going to talk about many subjects that pertain to relationships, the world, and everything else that is around us. We're going to go back to having guests on, a lot of women, sometimes men, but we're going to, have conversations about these things. And, whatever is the thing that's happening in the news that day in particular, we're going to get into a lot of. So I just want to welcome myself back to 2026 to IG. And like I said, make sure that you guys all check the new IG, which is my very old IG, because I won't be using this one for long. So it's going to be SDL Save Me. That's going to be the handle on IG, SDL Save Me. So with that, I just want to get back on here and get a little warmed up. But like I said, man, we're going to have a lot of subjects, a lot of things, and a lot of good people to come on and discuss these things. And see what we can do. See if we can make some relationship connections. Because one thing about the old show, it was in particularly, even though we did all these things, in particular, it was about trying to bridge the gap between the Black American community and the African community, primarily in West Africa, because that's where my experience is, living in West Africa for 13 years now. So we still gonna be on that because I believe in that. I believe in bringing relationships together. There are good men that are still out here that knows that the pick of the crops here in America, it's just all slop. I'm not saying everybody is, but it's hard to find that which is good. Because I say this, normally, when you have a society that has so many bad apples, you have women who just speak with profanity, loudmouth, masculine, in every which way, and I don't give a F type attitude. And when you have that as a majority, it's going to be very difficult to pick out the minority, because this is why. When you get a productive man who knows these things, understand, the minute he sees that particular type, to him that's going to be a jewel. So in all likelihood, those types are always going to get chosen. By the time they hit the age of 23, 24, they're off. They're off the table. They're married. Those types don't last long in America. They just don't. It's going to be very, very hard to find them. In particular, I say the only chance you have if you're looking for an older woman is pretty much maybe somebody who's widowed or divorced, who, we know things happen. I lived that life. So, I'm just saying, all in all, it's just a very difficult thing to find a good woman. And that's become the general ideology of the way of thinking worldwide now. And that's how you came up with the passport bureaus and all that. And but on a very flip side of the coin, I particularly don't think there's a lot of capable men, black men, white men, Asian men, whatever. But just sticking in the black community, I think single mothers have done such a horrible job raising these boys, and by the time they become men, they're just not capable mentally. They're not capable leaders. And money doesn't make you a leader. Money doesn't make you capable to be a family man. Money doesn't make you capable to be a man who could lead in a way of God. So these are qualities that just weren't instituted in our kids. Because from day one, it should have been about building character, building loyalty, building understanding, building sympathy, building human connections. We didn't instill those things, or the single mothers in the neighborhood didn't instill those things. It was like, hey, go out there, sell crack rock, or learn how to hit a wicked jump shot. So, I mean, those things can only take you so far, monetary. And on top of that, not many make it at all. So now we're stuck here with men, the majority of men who are not worthy of anything. Just being honest. I look at men, I talk to men every day. And I'm thinking in my head, these men ain't worthy. I wouldn't let my daughter for a minute date just about anybody who I've met. And that's saying a lot. I mean, that's saying a lot about your own people. I wouldn't even let my daughter date the men that I know today. For the most part, maybe one or two friends, that, that type of individual in that type of mode, like I say, because the one or two friends that I have, the two friends that I have are quality people. But, just in general, there are just not capable men to really have a capable woman look to. So it's like everything balances itself out. At the end of the day, you have no capable men. You have no capable women. And let me not say no. You have very few capable men and very few capable women. What happens then? The capable men that you do have, they get desperate. At some point in time, you get desperate and you just start dating anything. You get tied up, have a job or somebody who's just going to sit there and destroy your life. Then you got the few capable women who get desperate looking for the good men. So they get tied in to somebody who ain't no good. They wind up having a baby, and now their life is slowed down and made harder. Because we ain't taught the right way. We're just not taught the right way. We're not doing it right. It was a time that we knew to let the father choose the husband or oversee, okay, you're interested in this man, let me look into the gentleman, let me spend some time with him. And the father will either give you his blessing or he would not. And that would be enough for you to break it off and move to the next one and court the next one. The same thing with the men. It was a time that when you was interested in the little shorty or whatever, you brought her to mom's. Moms, check this out, check her out. How you feel about her, moms? Mom, one thing about women, just like men, one thing about women I will tell you, women have such a sense that we can't understand as men. They have such a sense of whether a woman is a good one or a bad one for you, or have ulterior motives. You could put a woman in front of another woman. She spend 5 minutes talking to her. After she goes her way, she come to you, hey, she ain't no good, don't do it. I should have listened to that many good times, but I didn't. Or they be like, oh, you know what? She's a good one. You should stick with that. We don't do that anymore. And that's why us here trying to do all this and trying to make a way, build relationships with this one, that one, just because somebody we're attracted to and not looking at the deeper things that are more important, we're always going to continue to get tied up. Because one, we're not dependent on God to do it. We're not dependent on our parents to do it. We're not even dependent on our friends to help. Well, I probably don't want your friends if they single too. But we're not dependent on anyone to do it or help assist us in this journey that we call life but ourselves. And then we wonder why we continue to wind up at square one every time. It's like a carousel that we just continue to go around and around and around on. And like I said, basically it's for me to be here, give pointers, give advice. And I've gained a lot of wisdom through my years, but nobody knows it all. So sometimes conversation can always bring out new ideas, new ways to go about life, new ways to move in this world. Because no matter what, especially for what's coming in the next 10 years, with technology and everything and wars that will happen, it's going to be necessary for us to be able to build a community, be able to build a family, be able to have something to offer up to God and say, hey, Lord, this is what I'm offering to you, my family, so that you could protect us, you could bless me. Because God doesn't bless relationships that are not in holy matrimony. He just don't. And I think we don't really pay attention to that, because a lot of us get in relationships and we say, oh, God sent me such and such. To say, God haven't sent you anything. God has nothing to do with it. If you get in a relationship to where you have premarital sex, God is not in it. He's just not. Then you wonder why you break up. You wonder why, oh, I thought this person was this, but, oh, this person's such an evil person. Oh, no, she evil. Because you both decided to do it on your own. So every time you do it on your own, you can expect the same outcome. It's not going to change. It's just not. But yeah, God does not bless sin. So you being in a relationship, God is just going to wipe his hands and say, hey, he's going to leave you out there. Whatever happens to you, happens to you. Now, if you decide to go and put yourself in holy matrimony and come to God like, hey, I'm sorry for the way that we did this. Please don't hold it against me. I know you're forgiving. God, forgive me. And from this point on, could you bless me, my wife or husband or whatever, which way, whoever is in prayer, and children. And I don't think that's an issue. But you don't want to be uncovered, because anytime you're living in that type of situation, you still are uncovered by God. And you don't want to be in that. But we all do. We all find ourselves that way. So it's not to bring judgment on anything, because we all are guilty of that. But it's just that we just want to be aware of where we are in the world and how we're moving and what point do we want to get to. So I don't want to keep everybody, because I know I got to get back in there and get dinner ready for the little ones. But like I said, so we'll stick here on this channel for a little bit till we can build the other channel that I'm going to be using. Because like I said, I can't advertise on this channel anymore. I don't know what went wrong. I don't care to figure it out anymore. I spent like a year trying to get it straight, but let Instagram be Instagram, let Facebook or whatever it is. So I said that let me just go back and use my original Instagram. So I'm going to be posting this to that. But make sure you guys get the word out. Go subscribe. Make sure they subscribe here too, but go subscribe to SDL Save Me at IG. And we'll be doing some stuff on YouTube, TikTok. Thinking about doing some streaming with Twitch. So a lot of good things out there coming. So tomorrow night, don't know what the subject's going to be about, but we'll have one for you guys. So tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. Hope to see you guys. That's 7 o'clock Eastern time here in the U.S. Not Ghana time, not Nigeria time, U.S. time, Eastern time, New York time. All right, guys. Glad I could have a few people joining me more than I expected. So with that, I bid you a good night, and be blessed, and stay strong. All right, I'm out. I gotta figure out how to do this again. It's been so long.